Hi there. Pretty sure that I'm live because I'm looking at myself on Zoom and I'm looking at myself on YouTube. So give me 1 second. I'm just gonna set everything so I can see myself. Remember that there's a little bit of a delay between what I'm recording and what you guys can see. So I'm just trying to make sure that I can see both. So hello everyone. We're gonna give it a few minutes until everybody finds us before we start. So go ahead, just listen to me, yeah, for a little bit. So, hello, I see a few of you already here. So, welcome. In case you guys don't know who I am, my name is Natalie D'Souza, and I'm part of the video design team for Pink Fresh Studio. And you see, I hope it's Heather, because I don't want to like chop it and say hi, Leah, or hi, Heather, but I think it's Heather today. So, yeah, see, Heather's behind. So, just in case I missed anything or like you need a link, then I won't say Leah, you see, because Leah was here with me last time. Heather's there to help us. So welcome everyone. I am glad you're making some time to join us today. Just let us know where you're watching from. Even if you're watching on replay, we like to know, like, how far and wide we're reaching you. And I know that it might not be the greatest of times for you guys because it's lunchtime here in Canada. Well, in Toronto, Canada, where I'm from. But you know, maybe it's like, late at night in your place, which would be great because then you're probably tucked in and like, you're gonna hear some fun, crafting ideas. So regardless of where you are, let us know because we need to hear that. As always, we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping before we turn on the cam. We turn around the camera. I have the second camera already here. You see it. Um, so a few things that I'm just gonna touch base on is remember that today is the last day for the sale. So yeah, Toronto is beautiful. It is beautiful. I have to admit it. So don't forget that. And I think it's 30%. And I should like I always think about this. I look at it and today I didn't. But today is the last day. I think it's 30% of something. Let me see, because I did save the email because I don't want to I saw the email. There we go. See, today is the last day. 30% of the some selected washi products. I read it before I came on. So remember that you also can get the new collection. I have a few things, like I just have the washi tape, but it's beautiful. So make sure you check that out. There is a blog hop and an IG hop going on. So in case you want to participate, you can win the entire release or gift certificate. And before, I see a few more people popping in. Don't forget, oh, you see somebody has to leave. That's fine. If you can watch right now, this is recorded so you can come back and watch it at your leisure. Um, don't forget that every time you comment or you share at the end of the live, Heather will pick up a winner for a gift certificate to the shop. So I think I've touched base on every single little thing that I had to say. Like I said, we're gonna give it a few minutes and we're going to turn the camera, but I'm sure because I know if you hear noise coming soon, it's not that on purpose. I'm by myself right now. The dog finally fell asleep. Don't forget I have a senior dog, so I have to keep an eye because he has accidents now. But mostly you might hear people coming in my apartment soon because I know that Easter is going to happen this weekend, so we celebrate it. So my mom is leaving work early. I know my daughter's going to stop by dropping off dinner because I've been busy the entire morning, and so you may hear some noise, but we're going to be professional and not yeah. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera, and then we're going to talk. We're going to show you. I haven't. See, I even close out the camera. That's how smart I am. But yeah, what we're gonna create actually, and it's gonna be something for Easter. So it's gonna be an Easter layout, and we're gonna use Picture Perfect for it. Okay. So, uh, like I said, take it we're gonna take our time until a few more people can find us, and then we are going to get started. But I want to tell you that today it is gonna be a complicated project. It's actually I'm gonna make it simple and fun. I want to give you an idea for Easter using color, using pattern paper, and I have my pictures here. I still haven't decided which ones or which one. So I have quite a few, my kids, probably the last picture with eggs. And I'm gonna tell you, a couple years ago, my my goddaughters, the same thing. I have series of them. And then of course, COVID Easter, homemade ears. So like I said, I have a few pictures. I haven't decided which one. I'm thinking more either just one or a set of this. Because I want to create, I want to give extra color behind it. So either black and white or like the smaller picture so that I can like overtake the page. So like I said, haven't decided, but they're here. And I use like, when we think of eggs, you think maybe most of you, I'm going to lift up the camera a bit so you can see more. You're probably thinking like, egg hunts and stuff like that. I didn't grow up with any of that stuff. I grew up Catholic. Like for us, my grandmother like didn't let us even like, like talk to people. We had to go to procession. So it was totally different than what we do up, I'm going to say North America, because South America, we didn't have any of that. So let me just, show you a little bit of what my idea is. I did a little bit of work ahead of time, but I still have to do a bit more. So I fussy cut some flowers from the 6x6 paper pad. So I have a few fussy cut, not that many. I just fussy cut a few. I have them here. I have the entire collection here. So I have enamel dots, ephemera, tags, everything is here. And the pattern papers. I have my 6x6 too. The only thing that you're going to see that I have on the side here is I have some dies and I listed the artistic bows because I think I'm going to use it. The other one, I have it just in case, but really I have the idea and we're going to put it together. So let me just pull out paper because I have it right here too. You hear me stretching over my table. So I'm going to start with a paper that is kind of on the heavy side. And you can use watercolor if you want to, or if you want to use just regular cardstock for this, you want to use something that is going to hold water a little bit, so without warping. So if you have cardstock and you're like, I don't know, you're like thinking, it might like, warp with the water, then add some yeso and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about all those things. So I'm going to just clean up my table a bit. So you see, I always have an extra piece of paper underneath. So my idea is I want to create strips of color with pattern paper. I want to put my pictures they're going to go either on this side or on that side. So I was thinking, like I said, one here, watercolor paper, pattern paper, but I want to add some watercolor behind it. Okay, so I'm going to start by actually cutting the paper. So you see, I have I'm going to leave it there so I know. I'm going to cut the paper. So don't we're going to work in pieces and then we're going to work on the background because it might take a little bit longer to dry. So I'm seeing that, you guys are asking about what the washi tape. Yeah, go check it out. Go check out which washi tape is on sale because the washi tape is something that I'm a fan of it. I think it's something that as a card maker you will love, but as a scrapbooker is a must because a little thing of washi tape, it gives you so many embellishments. So it's a great thing to add to your stash. So let's get started instead of talking so much. Thinking, where's my papers on the right of me? So I have my paper here. I have my 6x6 too because it comes in handy. And I want to be like right on the center. So I'm not going to cut 12-inch strips. I'm thinking at the most 9 inches, even less, maybe 8 inches. I want a little bit of negative space on this page. So let's go with some colors that, like I said, I haven't defined, but I was looking at my pictures and I really liked it. This is goddaughter number 1. Well, actually, goddaughter number 3, because I have other 2 before her. So I like this because it picks up on the blue. And there's the bunny. So, you can get, so these are the 2 that I'm, debating between. And those are my 3 kids. Those are my goddaughter, number 3. I have quite a few children. So my idea is I want to, and this is pretty much what gave me the idea. You see these little color strips? I want to bring some of that, like kind of this is around 1 inch through the page. Think of it kind of a rainbow. I was thinking maybe I whip some paper, but then I play with some paper. I was like, then I had to cut it. I was thinking maybe we do shapes, and I was like, you only have 1.5 hours, Natalie. Don't overdo it. So this is kind of the idea of what I want to create. So I'm thinking, we're going to cut some stuff. Let's see. I'm just trying to find some colors that, are friendly to this. I do love this. Let's see. And I want something that has pattern, but not so much. It's not so bad, but it's true. See, I like this because it has some of the blue, and I can pick up the blue on this, and this will work with anything because it's a black and white picture, but I like that. And I love the B-side because it has that pinkish and kind of like salmony strips. So I know that I can take 2 pages, 2 colors out of there, not 2 pages. Let me see what else I have. Like I said, I love this green. So let me find something that has, I might have to go in the stick. I like this too, but it might be too much pattern. So I need to find something that doesn't have that much pattern because you don't want to make it so busy. So I'm thinking this might be the other one. It's not as that much pattern. I was going to say parent. But then I think if we look at the papers, and I'm trying to just find it, this might be the paper that gave me the inspiration. So I'm going to use pieces of this. I might bring the 6x6 because it just has no pattern. So I think a combination of pattern paper that and something that's a little bit more solid is going to help us with this. So let's get started cutting these up. Let's move the pictures out of the way before I lose them because it is possible, guys. I'm just going to clean up. I have my trimmer here. I'm going to take my base out too and just get started. And I know that, I'm not a fan of yellow, but yellow is going to be something that we're going to need here. I love this paper too. And you know what? I love this paper too. So it is hard for me to say, oh, I'm just going to cut it because I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have to sacrifice this other side too. So that's when it's always good to buy 2 of the papers, which is, I'm not enticing or enabling, but kind of a necessity when you look at this. So let's start just cutting a few papers. I know that I want to pull up probably the blue from here. So let's get with that. And the name of this paper is Write Your Story. Let's just clean up a bit. Like I said, let's set up the idea and then we get into embellishing. And I'm going to cut just, I think it's around an inch, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, around an inch of the paper strip. So like I said, I'm thinking 8 inches at the most. I'm going to go ahead and cut 8 inches of it. Maybe 8.5, just to be safe. Or did I cut 9? Oh, 8 inches. I was reading 6 for 8. I might be a little bit tired, guys. Like I said, like this weekend, we usually only have my father-in-law and like my brother-in-law for Easter, because I know my sister has my niece's birthday is next week, so we'll be going there. So my beautiful husband, God bless his soul, decided that he's like, oh, we're gonna do something for us. And I was like, oh yeah, did you tell your father? And this paper here, the one with the beautiful florals, called Cherries Today. And I love the florals, but I'm going to pull out around an inch. So I'm just going to look at where I'm going to sacrifice the less flowers to cut this. So I'm thinking up here, I'm going to cut it this way. So the least amount of flowers, and I'm going to sacrifice it this way. So for the past 3 weeks, if probably a month, I said, what, Roger, that's my husband's name. Easter's coming up, make sure you call your dad and your brother. There's no plans, So, what are we gonna do? Oh, Nanny, and my husband is the kind of person that likes to be punctual to everything. And my sister is the kind of person that is very, I'm not gonna say responsible, that's not, but it's very undecisive. So whenever she's gonna do something, she's debates it until the last minute. And she'll let us know probably Friday that she's gonna do something for the kids the next day. So my husband doesn't like that. So, but when it comes to this, he did the same thing. He just told me on Wednesday, oh, I just called my brother and my father and they're coming on Saturday. And I'm like, I've been asking you for 3 weeks, so there was a little bit of an argument. And I said, well, I'm not cooking. So of course I'm not cooking. because I have to clean the house. And then he goes, oh, and I called your sister too. I'm like, oh, great. So I have 15 people this weekend at my house that I wasn't prepared for. So it wasn't a happy Wednesday, you know? There we go. So we have the two colors. So just you have an idea. And they're not all the same size. So don't stress because, like I said, we are going to play with them. But so it gives you the idea. Okay, so think of it kind of a rainbow. And I might have to trim the other one. Okay, so what color will come next? Yellow. Doesn't have to have all the colors, but the main colors. Okay, but let's see what we have for yellow here. And you guys know, if you guys have been here before, the yellow, it's not one color that I'm 100% in love with, but, we're gonna work with it. So because I'm looking at it going, I'm gonna pull it from the 6x6 because I want a smaller pattern. I want something that's a little bit more on the solid side. I could pull this yellow here. And my picture will probably sit around there, so I'll be okay. So I'm gonna pull it from my 6x6 scraper pad. I don't want to cut. The reason that I don't want to cut this is because I have the big florals here, and I will take me this piece here, and then I have these papers that I'm gonna be honest. I have to create a video with it. So it'd be hard for me to camouflage the cut in the center. So I'm gonna use the 6x6 for that. And I'm gonna take it's like yellowish kind of citronelle. Yeah. So like I was telling you, until I keep cutting paper, I have around, well, my daughter's boyfriend's coming, so around 15 people. So I told my husband, I am not cooking. I'm sorry, I love you, I love my family, all of them, but you're not gonna bring this on to me on Wednesday and expect me to have like an entire dinner done by Saturday. Sorry guys, I'm domestic, but there's a line too. So I said, you know what? Cater. And I look, fine, call the chicken place. My husband's Portuguese. Call some Portuguese chicken, and so we'll be having Portuguese chicken for Easter. So there we go. So now we are going to cut. We need to bring something that has this orange tone here, like kind of coral, and then some pink. So I'm gonna leave this on the side for now. Let's see what do we have here. I have a strip of paper that I play with an idea for I'm gonna show it to you. I play with the idea for my blog, for the Instagram hop. I play with some ideas and then I decide, oh, I'm gonna use that. So these are two 6x6 put together. And so I'm gonna take a piece from here. But this is also on the 12x12, just in case you're wondering. Just I have it, like I said, I played with an idea before I actually made it sit on my page, and I need something with a pattern. So let me show you what paper this is. Here it is. Is this one called? It's called Take It Slow. So it has this kind of like pink and coral, and I have the 6x6. I cut this first, and then when I liked it, I want to cut it from the 12x12 from the Spanish version for my IG hop. So I'm going to use this. Again, I'm going to use around 8 inches. So you're going to see that I'm camouflaging. So I have it. I'm not stressed over that little piece there. But you see how I'm working? I have a solid, a pattern, a solid, a pattern. So I need to go with something that has that pink, which is this one here, but more on the solid side. So am I gonna go back into this one here? So I'm gonna take it out from the 6x6. And I might actually pull the two of them. So this light one and the dark one. Like kind of fuchsia tone. Cut it. Let me just kind of center this. I want it to be like one-ish, kind of situation. Let's see, what do I have here? So around 2 and change. So I'm gonna just trim it in half. They don't have to be like perfect. So ish is the term that we're gonna work today with. Okay, so I wanna go with sort of like that. I like that. I'm gonna set this to the side. So you're gonna see I have my paper strips here. Like I said, I'm gonna trim them after. Right now, I'm just going to set up the idea. But I have like a soft rainbow. I'm change this into something a little bit more orangey. So let me just take a look at my paper. Because I think it needs a little, it looks very pink. I need to bring more of that coral. So I'm looking at some of the papers here. Thinking this might be the one that it might have to go there. But I'm thinking this. Okay, so I think that's going to be a better choice for that part there. Just going through the papers quickly outside of the camera. So I do want the pop of more of that orange tone. So just one more pass. Okay, so we're going to switch it for this. Okay, so again, love the pattern. I know that I probably fussy cut, so I'm just going to take it from one of these sides here. Doesn't really matter, so I can camouflage that. And it's not like, that, but you got to think about those things. So this paper name is Happy Memories. I'm going to run an inch and some change. Around 8 inches, even less than that. I don't think you're going to need more than that. Okay, so I have my paper stripped. And I can probably put the paper to the side now. Put it in another area that is not gonna. Okay, I don't need my paper trimmer. So here we go. I like that better. Kind of gives you a better rainbow look that way. Okay. So now let's decide on the pictures. So it'll be either this one, and you see, doesn't really have to go all the way because you just want that separation. So we're gonna go with either this one or, like I said, I haven't decided, these two. And this almost like a poly frame because I want to get rid of all the stuff at the top. So poly frame with a chipboard. So I don't know yet, but this is my idea. So what I am gonna do right now is take a little ruler and I'm gonna mark my paper lightly. Let's move it. How much is this? I think it's like around a 1.5-ish or so, like that. Again, like you said, ish. Remember, I'm very, very, ish is my favorite word because it's not, I don't want it to be an exact science and I don't want you guys to stress. So I'm gonna lightly mark this up. Okay. And then I wanted to start, I want to pretty much center this. So I'm going to just play with my paper strips a bit. So I know, they could be close. They could be, let me see. Title will probably be down here or up there. I'm not so sure, but I want a lot of white space too. So I'm going to say around 3 inches from the bottom. You're going to see that I'm going to make little dots where my strips are at. I create a little bit of separation, a tiny bit, even though the separation is most likely going to disappear when you see what I'm going to do. Maybe a little bit lower, 2.5. Let me erase this. So around 2.5-ish, 2.75, something like that. So let me just do a little line here, move this down. Maybe leave around 1/4 inch or so. Again, like I said, not exact sign. So we're just playing with it. If it's a bit crooked, not stress over that. We can always work around it. So don't. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to move this to the side. Actually, I'm going to put it, you might not see it, but I'm going to be able to see. Okay, my paper strips, I have them up here. So you're going to see, I have a line. I don't know if you guys can see it. I want to get it closer to you. Okay, so I have a line here that tells me what the end is. Ish, okay, because remember, once I put it here, my picture is going to be here. I want to make sure it's kind of center and everything balances. And then this one is around like I said, just center them so there's like around 1/4 inch in between them. I'm not gonna give you exact measurements because then I might move stuff around. But the whole point is that these strips are centered in your page. So what I bring out, that's what you're gonna see that I'm gonna clean a lot of right now. So give me 1 second, talk amongst yourself while I'm like, cleaning up. Just kidding. I'm gonna bring something that is not available yet, but we have because we are testing it. And that is some of Paper Studios watercolors, liquid watercolor. So you're gonna see that I'm just moving stuff around just because I wanna bring it. And I have pretty much the entire collection. I know that I need some yellow, so I'm gonna bring some. This is some citron, probably because it might have that yellow. I need to bring some of that orange, so I'm thinking peach fuzz and coral reef for the orange. Some of that blue. Some bubble gum for the bottom. Let me see what I have. I have some yellow here. This is sunshine. A little bit of aquamarine, which is one of my favorite colors ever. And I have seaside. If I need anything else, I'll pull it out. I have some mint. Okay, so we're gonna play with color. And we're gonna start from the top to the bottom. Okay? Let's move this. I'm not gonna do a lot of watercoloring, so don't get too excited because I love watercoloring and it's one of my favorite things to work on, but I can go into that. So before we go any further, I am using heavy cardstock. This is a 140-pound cardstock. You're gonna see that I don't have a heat gun, but I have tissues. Okay, because I'm gonna soak up as much of the water that I can put on this and save it. And the reason why I have my, what we're gonna work on this is that we can put it aside and hope that it dries. I don't want to use my heat gun because then my paper is gonna warp regardless, but keep your fingers crossed. Okay, so let me just pull up a brush. And I'm gonna use a number 6 for now. Let me see if I find a thicker one. I brought all my brushes here. I realized the other day that I was watercoloring something for, and I have a number 4. So you need something between an 8 and a 10, something that, and you want a round brush on what I'm gonna create. I have flat brushes. Okay, let's use this. I got the wrong set, but I was coloring an image for something that is coming up, and I never realized that I, drew some flowers. And by the time I got up, it was like I started around maybe 9 o'clock. I got up, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that tells you how long it takes me to paint something if I go detail. So I'm gonna play a little bit with the colors, so don't get like, and I have the rest of the colors here. I'm already looking at Slumber, which I think you might need it. And I have my little up here, so I'm gonna just try it a bit. Have my water here on the side. My trusty rugs. Okay, so let's see. I just want to see how deep this blue is. Because I do want to use quite a bit of pigment. So I think I want to go a little bit darker. So I'm going to go a little bit of Slumber on it. If you look at this blue, it has a little bit of green in it. That's what I put Seaside. But I think I need to darken it a bit. So I'm going to go with a little bit of Slumber. Okay. So, and like, I don't know when these are going to be like, available to the public. But yeah, I'm going to have to mix these two. So just keep an eye for them because they are great to work with. You see this? It's very like purplish. So let's clean up my brush a bit. Let's go with more of this. Okay. So remember when we had that dot there? Good. Just gonna add some water. A drop of the color. It's very pigmented, so you don't need much. Okay. And here's where we're gonna, that pencil line that we added, we are just going to kind of fade it away a little bit. Okay, so think you just adding splatters onto your paint. Okay, remember the paper, don't stress on what it's gonna look like to your right. stress what it's gonna look like to your left, because the paper is gonna go on top of that strip. That's why you mark the little dots in the area. So I'm gonna get it closer so you see it, okay? So I'm gonna juggle you a little bit. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna add a little bit of extra pigment to the edge. I want kind of that rim, the ring that creates outside of the watercolor to show. Okay, so you're gonna see that I'm gonna add more pigment there. I'm trying to pull it towards the outside of the dots that I created. Okay, so lightly move it in. Gonna clean my brush. We're gonna add a little bit of the mint. So we're gonna work on this, okay? So let's go with a little bit of aquamarine. Have mint here too, but we're gonna go with aquamarine first. So get some of this. Let me just test it. Okay, and have some mint here, and you're gonna see me. I'm gonna play with a lot of color right now. So, like I said, I don't know if Heather even knows, when these are gonna be released. But like I said, we're trying them out. We have them. So I thought, let's play with something a little bit different for today. So I have a little bit of water. I'm gonna add a little bit of water, kind of pull the blue from the top, and I'm gonna go with a little bit of the mint. And put in it's a little bit more. You're gonna see that it's slowly gonna push it to the top so it kind of mixes in there. I'm gonna pull it towards the outside of this. Okay, get a little bit of the aquamarine, too much. Clean up my brush. Fresh water. So this is like hit and miss. So we're gonna try some things and bring some of the blue because we want a nice, an organic mix. So I'm just going to pull some of the blue, get some more water, bring some of the mint. And I'm gonna bring the paper so you see it. So I'm gonna try to pull the more pigmented watercolor towards the left. Remember the left of your page, because that's where outside of your pattern paper is gonna look. And we are gonna add splatters, so don't stress over that too much. Let's see, I'm just going with my brush, just kind of press it. So it creates that natural. I can go, if you have a hard time with your watercolor, let me just find something here. I might have it. Just get a piece of plastic. You can go with acetate or something similar. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna find. Because I always have it handy. So I have a little piece of acetate here. And if you're afraid, just stretch it. Just lift it up a bit. And then what you do to create that ring is you're gonna place your acetate and you're gonna lift it to where you want the ring to go. So let me move this out of the way. So you're gonna see, if I lift it to the right, then it's gonna pull on the right. But if I press my acetate and I lift it to the left, then it's gonna go to the left. So you're gonna have that darker pigmentation on the left of the paper. Okay, so I'm trying to get like that on that side. So you can see that I'm gonna kind of spread it a little bit inside a bit more lightly. Kind of fade in. I have 2 pots of water. I'm gonna make the blue a little bit. Run it a little bit more so I have clean water. Put some of this blue. It might not be the perfect match, so we're trying here. And I'm hoping that my dog doesn't bring down the lights because my little dog, my baby is going blind. He's 13, so he bumps into things and he's already cost me a laptop because he tangled himself. I didn't realize it. He tangled himself in the cord of the laptop and brought it down. So it didn't cost me the laptop, but it's not working that great. Okay, so husband wasn't too happy about it, but it's the baby. So the baby got away with stuff, So here we go. I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like so you have a better idea. Okay. So remember, my papers are gonna sit right there. Okay. And that's what was important for me to create those little dots. Okay. So now we're gonna go with citronelle because that's a yellow that it has a little bit of green in it. And you just need a little drop. So I'm gonna move it closer so you guys can see it. And I'm not gonna, you're gonna see that I'm put them here, but I'm not gonna clean them up because then I'm gonna need them after for splatters. So a little bit of citronelle to create that transition. And then, oh, citron, no citronelle. Why do I have citronelle in my mind? And I have sunshine because then I wanna go into the warmer yellows. If my friend Esther's here, then, she'll be happy that I'm using this. So again, just some clean water. I have two containers here. One with clean water, one with like the one that I'm cleaning my brush. Okay, so again, a little bit of water, tiny little bit, not too much. Then we're gonna take a little bit of the green citron and then just dip it in there, kind of bring it towards the green so you create that transition. Okay, clean up my brush. I'm gonna push a little bit more of the citron. Okay, get some clean water and just kind of spread it out. Or if you have your little plastic, which disappeared already on my table, where did I put it? See what's, oh, here it is. Of course, it's see-through. Take the plastic again, lift it towards the left, not towards the right. Then the pulling is gonna be on the left of the paper. The baby's, oh my God, my baby, if you guys only knew what okay, so people are gonna find this funny, and I can tell you a lot of stories while I do this. My dog, in his, I don't, and it's pretty much every dog. I'm gonna clean up a bit because it's a very, very pigmented yellow. Most dogs, and maybe it's just mine, my dog has a fascination with toilet paper since the day we brought him home, and it might have been my fault when we brought him home. I don't know, but my dog loves toilet paper, like loves toilet paper. So when we first brought him home, I told my husband, why do you the washroom, like, he got a tiny little ball. Well, he's at like close to 40 pounds, like a little bit on the medium side. I have a Boston Terrier. So like, maybe 6 years ago, I'm like, why are you guys leaving? The dog kept like, and Boston Terriers are known for having like, they have a lot of gas and it's really stinky. Okay, I'm being honest. So I told my husband, like, why are you keeping the washroom door open, knowing that the dog, like, he's like, I don't, because it was, because my husband has like, he tends to use toilet paper to blow his, whatever, So it's like, so one day, I followed the dog. What? My dog is not stupid. And it's not because, I'm not saying he's going to be brilliant. He's not that either, But in the smartness, he knew how to get in his back legs, how to hit the washroom door, like the knob of the door, in a way that he could open the door. He knows how to open the door of my washroom. We had to change the what do you call it, the padlock of our door, so he wouldn't, get into it. He knew how to do it, and then he will go into the garbage and leave the door open. So he was and that's why he was having such a hard time, So of course, after that, I kept quiet and I said, oh, and one day, and I told my husband, look, this is happening. He's like, no, it's impossible. He's a baby, he's not. I'm like, oh. So I actually, when it was happening, I told my husband, quietly, come follow me. Because our bedroom is like, on the other side of the apartment. So I said, quietly, just follow me. I'm using right now peach fuzz and a bit of coral reef. I said, follow me. He goes, where are you taking me? I go, just follow me. So we stood at the corner of the second hallway, and I said, look at what he's going to do. So my husband saw him get up on his back legs with a brush, get up on his back legs, and how he started, like, with his paw, like hitting the padlock until it got open. And my husband is no one to have nice, language. He swore, and the poor dog jumped out. And I said, you see, this is how he's eating toilet paper. That's my story. So here we go. We're going to go with the orange. Yeah, so we're going to start with a little bit of water, not much. Just want a little bit, just so, like, when you put the color, it kind of spreads. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of the yellow just to create that transition, and I'm gonna push it towards the yellow up top. I need more water. Okay, and I'm gonna push it towards the outside. Get some more of that peach fuzz. Peach fuzz is kind of the nice medium. There's also, if I'm not mistaken, there is lemon whip if you want something lighter. There's pretty much all the colors are here. So what a bit of the color inks. They're like in this watercolor too. So once you get it, you're seeing it. I'm sure you have seen it in some of the videos because, like I said, we're testing them. So, and they're lovely. Okay. Just a little bit more water. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this orange here. And this is coral reef, so it's a little bit more like on the reddish side. Get my little piece here. I'm gonna help it push it towards the outside. Okay. So watercolor is a medium that is fun. Just gotta play with it a little bit. Okay. Like I say, you see how the rings are forming on the outside? That's what you want. And so, and somebody said it's not getting muddy. The key to getting your colors not muddy is a little bit of color theory. So you're gonna see that I don't have the green next to the red because then I'll create brown. So a little bit of color theory helps in this. So 3 primary colors together are gonna give you the color of poop. So you wanna separate them in between and create a nice transition. Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit more here, gonna stretch it a bit more. Some water. Just gonna run it towards the bottom a bit. And help myself with a little bit of that. And you're gonna see I'm mostly worried about this side here. And then splatters after, but I need to add a little bit extra coral reef here. Because I wanna deepen this side here. So I'm gonna transition into the pink. So I'm gonna show you the strips, the paper strips now. I think I need to clean my brush. Bring some of the yellow. Kind of stretch it towards the back a bit. And the thing here is gonna be having patience to let that dry too. Okay, so I'm just gonna move a little bit of the yellow towards the back. A little bit of sunshine. You're gonna see me to speed up my brush a bit. Okay. So let's just, so you have the idea how I'm going. Blue, green, yellow, orange. I need to worry about this light pink and then the fuchsia. And you see, I'm only worried about this side here. Let me hear this. There is a clementine color too. So like I said, once they come out, we're testing them, making sure that everything is fine before they're completely out. So I'm gonna add a little bit of bubble gum here. And this is bright. So I'm gonna bring a little bit, I have ballet slippers, I think too. See? Ballet slipper. And I have raspberry blue. Okay, so I have a little bit of ballet slipper. It's really, really light. So like I said, the watercolors are great. They're very pigmented and they're very true to and this is raspberry. They're very true to the colors of the inks. So if you like the inks, you're gonna love this. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna get again, a little bit of water. Just a little bit. So you have, when you put your watercolor, it blooms on the paper. Just a little bit. We're gonna go with, there we go, ballet slipper. And you're gonna see super light. So I'm gonna help it with a tiny little bit of, what's the name? I forgot. Sorry. Bubble gum. Just a tiny bit to pick up more of that pink. Otherwise, it looks the same as the one on top. I'm gonna go again with a tiny little bit of this. Just trying to help, accent the pink. So let's see. It has to be lighter. So let's just add some more water to move it around a bit. Let's go with ballet slipper. You guys see it's a really light pink. So same as the ink, looks exactly the same. Super soft pink. Okay, So again, I wanna, create that little look here, and I keep misplacing the little plastic because it's see-through, so I'm gonna push it towards the left. Okay, so very careful. A little bit more. Move it up the top a bit so it mixes a bit. There we go. I'm not even gonna clean my brush. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water because I'm gonna bring that pink down. Yeah. And I'm going to add a little bit of bubble gum, just a tiny bit, because it's really bright, and a little bit of raspberry. I think that's gonna give me the right color. Super pigmented. If I have just little drops, I have enough for this. Okay. I'm gonna bring it towards this. And this is why it's important that you have the right paper. If you have, even you're gonna see if I have, even though I have heavy paper, it's gonna buckle in a bit. So you wanna have the right paper for that. And there is some watercolor paper too, just in case you wonder, there is gonna be some watercolor paper too. But I wanted something 12 by 12, so I went for this. Okay. Again, a little thing here, just gonna puddle, create a little puddle on the left, maybe a little bit lower. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, clean up here a little bit. Gonna get a little bit of the splatters. Help myself do that. So have some water here, some of the colors here, and help myself with some water. There we go. Okay, let's go with the next one, which is the pink. I'm gonna just add a little drop here, right here. Yeah, so now you have to go. Oh, thank you for being here for the little bit. I know, like, life is busy and probably is your lunch break. So, mix this up for the pink. So let's see if we got it. Yeah, super, super light. So a little bit of the whatever I have left over. A little bit more water. Yes, let's see. And go with the yellow here. Yellow from over here. Not too much, just a little bit. Some of the green. See a little bit here. You need extra water so it's runny. Some of the green, kind of tealish there, but it's okay. And some of the blue. And I do want the big splatter, so I'm gonna get some water. Gonna get some of the ink here. Not ink, sorry, the watercolor. Gonna do the big splatter. Okay. I'm gonna set this to dry for a little bit. Yeah. But I'm gonna show you something else. So wait. Get a little bit of, tissue will work for this. Yeah. It's gonna soak up some of the excess water for the sake of the project. Otherwise, it's gonna be here until tomorrow, hoping it dries. And trust me, I love mixed media. I love watercolor. So there's something that, I could sit here and show you 1,000 more things, but then I will need like an entire afternoon. So let me just clean it up. I'm just soaking up. I create a little tip. And I may need to add a tiny little bit of color here just to deepen the color a bit. So let me just find a piece here, some pigment. It's diluted already. And add a little bit of pigment there. So it creates those rings that I'm hoping for. There we go. Yeah, I am going to set this to the side. I am not going to dry it because I can reconstitute the word. I can bring it back to light in a bit, but I want my area to dry up for a little. So I'm just going to lightly, let me get another one. I'm not rubbing. Put it at the bottom, soak up the excess water at the top. I don't want to take away from the bottom. I want the color to stay there. So you see? And look, my paper is a little bit, so it might be a little bit warped, but not a lot. So let's clean up a bit. That has to dry. So until that, I'm just going to lightly clean it up. As you're gonna see, so you see what it looks like, okay? Like I say, you guys are gonna love it. I don't even know what color goes here. I'm just gonna toss them and then fix them after. I should close them too, yeah? So I'm just gonna put them there for now. Like I said, I'll fix them after. There's names at the back, yes. I'm hoping. Yeah, there's names at the back. Okay. So they'll get sorted out after. But this is what it looks like when they come. Yeah. And if you have the previous watercolors, raise your hands. I had them. I had 2 sets. I went to 2 sets of the previous watercolors. That's how much I used them up. Like literally dried them up. So I was very excited when they sent those to try. So there we go. We're gonna set this aside because we want this to be drier. And we're gonna work on how this is gonna look like. So if you want, you can hit it with your heat gun if that's your choice. Okay, you can hit it with your your heat gun. But I think that I was really light with my hand to make sure. And then the pencil line is pretty much erased too. So this is what I have in mind. You're not gonna see much. I might add splatters, but it's not gonna be like so brutal. Maybe a little bit closer. Here's where I get to play with it. It's a good idea to create kind of like a guide and then work from there. I might need to spray my liquid situation a bit here. So there you go. That is pretty much what I'm looking for. I think I need to spread a little bit more of my color. So let's go at it. See, that's what I said. I'm just going to set it to the side for now. Where's my little palette? Here we go. So all I'm going to do is this. Lightly, kind of just spread a bit. This is going to take the most of the time is going to be on this. The rest is going to go. I did a little bit of work. I did fussy cut some flowers. So I know that I'm going to use. And then setting up the picture is going to take us no time. I'm just going to stretch this a little bit more. Some water. A little bit of this green. More water. I'm just going to spread it out. Remember, this is going to be under paper, so don't stress over that. Okay? And I'm going to soak up the excess. I just want a trace of the color underneath. A little bit of citron. Some extra water. I just want to, so it doesn't have that line kind of dividing. So I'm just going to spread it a bit. A little bit of the yellow. There we go. More water. Dry it up a bit. Okay. So with my little, I put it here. I'm thinking, where did I put it? Right here. A little bit of, I might need to bring some of that. And I put away my paint issue. I'm going to have to bring it back again. It's okay. It's right next to me. And let's go with some of that pink. Super light at the bottom. Okay. And then just mix it on here. Some water. Okay. There we go. See? Spread a little bit more of the blue just to elongate this. And a little bit more of the green. There we go. That's it. I want to set that aside with the brush there. Paper towel. Lightly dry that up. Just on top, you're going to see lightly. So there we go. We're going to set that to the side. Over here. I'm gonna move my camera up a little bit. And then we're gonna keep going. So let me just move the water before. I'll sit and have it. Okay, set it on the floor for now. So now let's decide on the picture. What time do I have? Oh, I have half an hour. See, I have half an hour to finish. There we go. Let's just play without the paper right now. So green stripe, my green stripe, my yellow stripe, orange, it's like pink, and it'll be like this. So my paper is gonna sit. Okay. It's just a matter of deciding, do I want this or do I want these two? It'll be like, you're at home and you're like, oh, you want to add more color, go at it. It's always good to start little and then add from there. You can always add, you cannot take away. So be mindful of that when you're using watercolor. Especially if you're not using the right paper or you haven't prepped it. It is hard to, you can camouflage mistakes, but you can erase them fully. Okay, so start little, don't fill up your entire page, just a little, okay? It's pretty much dry because I went really light. It might need some extra time. So I'm gonna just kind of soak up the excess water. And I'm not gonna glue anything until I know that it's kind of ready to go at it. I just want to make sure that my idea is working. So I like that better. Okay. So let me see. I don't know. I might go with the black and white, but I don't mind the color. And I'm usually the one that is like, no, let's go black and white because I love it. But I do like this because, it does work with the colors here. See, I have the blue on the top and I have this kind of like, she's still wearing blue, but it has more of the salmon look at the bottom. So it actually works here in this layout. So even though I love black and white, I'm kind of going with that. I'm just trying. See, I have this. And the advantage that I have of using the two pictures, I don't know, I want something a little bit smaller. So I think I'm gonna go with this. Okay. It's because I do want to frame this. Just because I have all this space up here that I don't need. So like I said, this is working. I'm going to let it dry a little bit more. It needs to dry. We're gonna wait until the last minute to put it together, okay? Like paperweight. I might have to trim this a bit to be more like 6 inches. So let's do that first. It's driving me insane they're not the same size. There's peeps. People have peeps. One is if I see the paper strips and I'm working with them, they're not the same size. It's driving me a little bit crazy. There we go. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Clean the mat here to the side. This is how they're going to sit on my page, pretty much. Imagine this is going to be my page. So for now, my page is drying on the side for now. I think that looks about right. So let's take a look. I do want to keep this one here. Like stays in the blue area. And I want this down here, but I want to frame it. For that, I am going to pull my little chipboard frames. And let's find something that matches the colors on here. So I can go with this blue, but it covers the bunny. No, the pink. I think I like either this one, and you're gonna see that I'm not gonna glue it. Because it brings the pink at the bottom. Or I kind of like this. See? As long as it fits the bunny and my goddaughter, I like that. Okay, so let's just be smart. Let's put it this way, because then it picks up the color and at the bottom. I know it's not completely like, pink, but it will do. So just trying to make sure that I don't cut ears or heads or anything like that. Another peeve of mine. There we go. What? Let's trim the excess. And here we go on. And we need to now create a way to balance this page. Sorry, I didn't go quiet on purpose. I'm just trying to cut it. So I like this. Let's see. See how the colors work nicely? I might move this a little bit higher. Right there. Kind of situation. See how the colors work nicely here? I could frame this in blue too if I wanted it to, but I don't have one that is tall enough to do that. I was thinking this one. No, I don't like. It's too short. I want all the blue at the top to show. So here we go. We have our two pictures. I need something to kind of like, ground this. So let's look for maybe some of the tags. One of the tags, and I also have, let's move stuff here. Just trying to see stuff that has blue. Can go like this. Okay, let's go. Let's start building this up. What you guys are not seeing is that I'm touching my base over there to make sure it dries. So I'm just gonna look at some of these tags, and I also have the vellum pockets here. Let's just see. See, I like this, but I don't want to lose this is my very favorite. So I'm just gonna see if I can. I don't want to lose that this is my very favorite, but I do like that. So let's see if I can find something else that I need something blue. That's what I'm looking at. Not here. No. Okay. So let's go in the paper. I need something to ground this picture. So I'm trying to find my 6x6 paper pad to get that going. Let's see. Needs a tag or something. Okay. I start. I go back in the paper. I can go with a piece of this. I just saw this. Let me pull this in here. What if I cut this part here? See, I'm going to cut this little piece here, and that will bring the extra blue that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's go at it. This paper is called Made with Love. And I think I need this. Because this little, I don't know if it's a square. I don't know the measurements, but I want this blue. You need something to anchor my little picture there. Looking at my background, it seems to be drying, so that's good. There we go. Move this out of the way again. I want to get this here. I have to trim it, and then the other one right here. So this may go a bit there. Okay, let's trim it up. Doesn't matter if it's not like, fully framed. Remember, half of this is going to be kind of hidden by the other one. So I'm okay if there's like, not at the bottom. But I do want it to show at the top. Here we go. I like that much better. I need to prop this. So I'm going to get a piece of like chipboard or something. Chipboard here. So I like adding chipboard behind my pictures or on the pattern paper just to add some dimension without a lot of balls. Cut a little piece here. And I'm going to put it behind my picture. Yes. Thank you. I'm having a meeting by myself, so I understand sometimes people are going, she talks a little bit too much, but nobody else here for me to tell me, okay, see, I like that. It makes it pop a little bit more. Then this one is gonna sit. Once I put it, I want to make sure that this sits on the blue and this one sits in the area where, like, right here. So we're working there. I don't care if it's a little bit crooked. I'm okay with that. Remember how I told you I did work a little bit ahead of time and I fussy cut some of the flowers? from the 6x6 paper pad, I do want to remember, I need to balance it. I have the watercolor on this side, so that's gonna make it heavy on this side. I need to add stuff on this side too, to make sure that I balance. But I like this, how it's going. So let's clean up, and then which is all about embellishing and adding a title, which is my name. Here we go. Ish, dry. Okay. Papers. All I'm doing is just like, kind of curling them up a bit, especially in the area on the left. So all I'm doing is literally wanted to kind of sit a bit on the. You can like, I know some of you guys like distressing the edges. If that's something you want to go, this will work in this project. But I want a little bit of that lift on this side, a tiny little bit of lift. And I am going to use a ruler to attach my paper because peeves, guys, peeves, sorry, I have like OCD when it comes to something. That might be one of them. So I'm gonna move it a bit more to the right. So I'm gonna go around 2 inches from the left. Am I saying it properly? Yes. Here we go. Okay, don't get over happy on that. Okay. So let's go with the green. Again, same thing. I'm just gonna curl the ones over here. The part that's going to the left a little bit. Move it, and you want to make sure that it sits. It doesn't have to sit like flush, but in the area of the green. And you want to make sure that you add stuff like, to the right, you glue it because the picture is going to sit here. So this has to be flat. The one on the left, we're still going to add stuff on top. We're still going to like, add some embellishments. So it's okay if it's like, a little bit lifted. Hello, somebody just said hello to me. Hi, Okay, let's go. Okay, here. I was going to say watercolor tape. Too much watercolor in my brain right now. So you want to leave a little bit of the white strip, and that's what we like, stretch the watercolor super lightly towards the right. Let's go with that. Where did it put them? It's here. There we go. And then here. And like you can always replay this and see how I did it. It's not hard. And so in case you're like going, oh, practice on the side. Don't go straight onto your layout, practice. I'm not gonna say it takes years of practice because it's not true. It's just it takes practice. So get some watercolor paper or get some paper, add some gesso because you want that be able to get the watercolor to move. That's the key there. You want to be able to get the watercolor to move a bit and play with the watercolor. I can show you 1,000 little things because I do love watercolor and mixed media, but for now, we have an hour and a half. We got last one. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to read this. Okay, last one. Make sure that it's not crooked. I'm gonna put my it's gonna say my ruler. My God, I'm already thinking about cleaning my house for Saturday. That I'm thinking about the broom, water, like mopping and stuff like that. Strayish, okay? There's no be perfection. Okay, so you see how the watercolors? I might come. Remember how I saved my watercolor palette on the side? I'm gonna add a few more splatters, and then also a few more what is his name? Enamel dots. But you see what I'm going for. So now my photo, I have to make sure that my picture is gonna sit in a way that is gonna balance the other side. So I have around maybe 1.25 inches or so from here. I have to make sure that when I add this one, it goes like right at the edge there to 1.25 inches, like right at the edges. So when I add my embellishments, it's gonna balance everything. So I'm trying to center based on that. And so, yep, I like that. Okay, so now let's start attaching this. You see, it wasn't that bad. This is what's gonna take you the longest. Like I said, simple design. I had the idea ahead of time. So we're gonna add some foam adhesive. And I know some of you might be going, oh, you were doing great until the foam adhesive. Dimension is something that is gonna make this one great because you added the dimension down here. So don't forget that. Okay, so you wanna, and we're still gonna embellish this. So you wanna create that little bit of shadow on your project is a great thing. Okay, and I'm okay if my pictures are not gonna sit flush, like, nicely straight. It's okay, I already have that lines going. So I'm gonna go kind of there. Issuing this, I just wanna make sure that when I put this, I cover the edges a bit. So let's move it down a bit. See, I'm tilting it a tiny bit, not fully. And this one, I want to go right. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to need foam adhesive behind it because I added behind the one on top. Yes. So, okay. Somebody tells me a good pair of scissors that do not, like, tape doesn't get stuck to them. Could you tell me a good one that actually works? You'll be very loved. Mine, I've tried so many, they don't work. So I'm going to go make sure that I cover the edges down here. Here we go. It's a little bit crooked, a little bit on like an angle, but there we go. See? My title is going to be down here. So that's going to complete my, the page. So now we get to embellish. So it's not that bad. We have all those florals. So I know that I want to get the florals on this side. I have the watercolor on the left. I want the florals on the right. So that's going to balance, like, the two edges. So like I said, I cut them ahead of time from the 6x6 paper pad. I'm going to put them there. And I have a few extra from the ephemera too. So I know that, just so you see what they're going to look. Doesn't have to be heavy, okay? Just a few. I even have foam adhesive behind, just in case. Yeah, you don't have to overdo it. We do want to balance this out a bit. I thought this would be a great way to balance it. So some florals. Okay. So I might not even add this one here, but move it down here so it kind of extends this. So you see, I'm kind of balancing this. This one is a little bit too big for this area. I think I need to go not so overly to the left. Let's move a bit stuff here. This one is too big, so let's just go with, and I cut the ones at the edges, so I just have pieces of it, and that's okay. Here's what those little ones, the corner pieces work perfect for this. Because you're gonna tack them underneath, so you're not gonna see much of them. Okay, so here we go. It's gonna lay with the edges, so we hide those little straight edges and just, there we go. So you see how we balance this to the watercolor on the side. We have this right away. You're not going to need something here to kind of cover this end and something up here to cover that end, but the title place and your right lines of journal are going to be down here. Okay, so let's secure this with a little bit of foam adhesive now. I'm trying to read what it says. I'm trying to read the comments. It's a little bit hard, guys, because they're kind of flying right now. But if you're liking this, I am glad it gives you an idea. And like I said, keep your eyes peeled for the, when the watercolors come to the market. Up to now, I had said I've done a few layouts already with them. They are great. And if you had the previous watercolors and you're like, bummed that they're not making them no more, trust me, these are great. They have the same colors of things. There's a lot of colors too. So if you love the ink colors, this pretty much matches the ink colors. So I don't know, like I said, Heather said probably April. I'm not so sure, but keep an eye for them. There's 3 sets. And once we get into that, I'll keep bringing them out. See, this one is just going to be kind of floating there. Yeah, and I went like kind of mental on the 6x6. I was like, oh, let's cut this up. They're gonna love me seeing all these little flowers, but I just wanted like, flowers on this side, watercolor on the other side, kind of balance the page out. So let's see. Okay, let's see. It's a little bit more. I'm just gonna add like a few and I'll secure it like, more after. But you don't have the word to describe it. Look, I struggle with my English. because it's my second language, but I've learned that I also struggle with my Spanish because it's my first language and I speak a lot of English. So let's just say, and my mother was laughing. She got upset and then she started laughing. I read, because I read a lot of both languages, that once you get like, older, if you speak two languages, you learn to forget about one of them. I'm like, oh my God, ma, imagine if I go mute and I don't know which language to talk. And she looked at me like, are you crazy? And, and then she started laughing. She goes, only you can think of those things. I was like, yeah, think about it. My husband was happy. He's like, finally, I think there's going to be some silence. But there you go. So are we liking this? Like, you see, like, I'm creating that balance. So now it's all about embellishing and pray for a title right now. So let's find the embellishments. I really like this. Remember, like I said, I need some blue up here. So I think I want this here, right there, to cover that edge. Because I want to give the idea that the strips are coming from behind the picture. So when I hide that, I'm going to put that up there. I like it there. Plus it brings out the blue. I'm just pulling some foam adhesive from up here. Don't worry, I am going to. I know what you're saying. I'm just, for now, it's just going to stick there for now. There you go. So I like this. I know you're saying this. Yeah, I need to find something here. So I don't see anything here. Let's go into the cardstock stickers. Here. I need to find something like pink or in those tones at the bottom. I still haven't looked at the ephemera either. So let's see. Let's see, time to unwind, living my best life. I kind of like that, but I want something more in that feeling inspired. Let's see what's in this. XOXO, but yeah. You guys are gonna laugh. I have a Spanish one. I was thinking, why do I have Spanish? No, okay, don't. I must have moved it from one to the other one. Don't mind me. Meet with love. I do like that, but I think I want something that kind of matches that. Okay, so let's just go through that quickly. And you're not gonna need that many embellishments either because you add in like quite a bit of interest. I like this special day here. But I think it needs to be a little bit bigger. So I might actually move this here to help me with that. And so I can add something here. So let's see what I have. Needs to be around. I feel something that is gonna fit there. Yeah. So let's see. Just want to make sure that I kind of, there we go. I like that. So we're gonna add some foam adhesive behind it to prop it up, but I'm bringing some of that pink here. So we're just going to work on the tone on tone to just sell the idea of the rainbow. We're still gonna add more stuff on that side. Not like lots, but something else. Okay, let me see. Where did I put the foam adhesive? Oh, over here. Let me see the time. Oh, we're doing great on time. So here we go. So like I said, we're gonna work on an Easter layout that perfect. So you're gonna see we're gonna add a few more things. So let's work on securing this. If you see in the picture, it's a little bit of a curl. This because remember, I'm still a little bit on the damp side, so but I like this. These are like, let's work on the title before my mind goes, somewhere else. And the only thing about the title is that I have these teal letters, but they will do. Trying to see what else I have, like X, like not X, something in pink. Okay. Like here. I know it has to say Easter memories or like, My Little Bunny or something like that. Because let's get this here. Okay, so let's see my Easter Bunny or Easter memories. I like the word my Easter Bunny. So let's see. Where's M? Okay. Actually, no, my. Let's just go with Easter Bunny. Or we can go with Easter Fun, but we're gonna go with Easter Bunny. Neat. And I'm giving it a little bit of separation like I did with all the strips. So just keep that like, little bit in mind. Let me move it a little bit higher actually. So let's see an N here. I think I have the Spanish version here. So I want to make sure that it finishes kind of around the same area where my picture starts. So if I go quiet, it's not that I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to set this in place. Let's see the F. So I'm working backwards. For my title, we need an R. Easter. Another E. T. Oh, the center here. T. S. We go. Don't move. A. E. Perfect. Smooth here. There we go. I think it's straight. Don't think, make sure. Why does it look crooked? But come on, Natalie. There we go. Why is this F giving me a hard time? Okay, for now we're gonna put it in. But so I want to bring some of that pink, like I said before. I need a little bit extra pink here. So I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it will. So I'm gonna kind of put it in a little bit of a slant. It says remember this, so you guys see it. So bring some of the pink and then I can add my lines of journal there. But I'm going to add a little bit of foam adhesive to this part. Okay, so a little bit of foam adhesive. So kind of like from the edge of the flower here to here. So you can add your lines of journal there. So think of it like as an arrow. Okay, so I think I have that over here. Now, I just eyeballing, I think I need something else up there. So let's go into the ephemera pack and everything else that we have here to look at something here. So I might just move this flower a bit there. You can add another flower if you want to. So I think I'm going to do something blue or something up there. So let's see. I'm just trying to see what I have here. Need to remember. Let me go back into the chipboard stickers. I have this little blue flower. And I'm adding the blue flower just because I want to make sure that I balance top and bottom. Okay. Where are the Easter eggs? What do you give your kids when they're adults? Do you give them Easter eggs already or not? I'm going to tell you what I give my kid. I give my kids a chocolate bunny because you know how like companies, like I said, I didn't grow up with this tradition. Okay. So when my kids were starting to get older, they did it at school because they went to Catholic school. It just happened to be the best choice at the time where I was living or we were living at the time. So we put him in Catholic school. Looking at a few more things. Okay. So I'm going to keep talking while I show you. So this one said a day to remember. I think I want to put it here. Kind of I had a piece of towel because I tried this for a layout. That's why. I think I want to put it like right here. Kind of tucked in a bit. Or I can put it over here if I want to. And I'm going to watercolor. For now, let's just put it here. Okay, so I pull out this too, the artistic bow. And I think I do want to add like a bow maybe here because I have the long strip. So maybe I'm going to add a bow here or something. So going back, I did not grow up with Easter eggs. I had no idea why they were. And then my husband said, "Oh, did you buy eggs for the kids?" When I was little, I was like, "What?" Like, I don't know what that is. So eventually we kept buying the kids Easter eggs and stuff like that. And then my nieces and nephews, showed up in our lives, which made us very happy. Because there's a big gap between my kids and my niece and nephew. So my sister, being the health fanatic that she is, decided that like when my niece showed up, she was the first grandkid. My brother-in-law is an only child, so her mother-in-law went insane. Like there's no other word to describe it. I love the woman. We're really good friends. We're very close, but she went insane on my niece. My niece was spoiled, rotten. Like there's no other word. Everything, you know. So I want something in those colors there. I'm looking for the papers here. Um, Needless to say, but then when my nephew came around, my sister said, "Oh, I don't want it to be the same thing as Juliana, blah, 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 blah." Long story short, we used to have Easter hunts. So then I would come by, so we will come by to drop off chocolate for my niece and nephew. And then we'll see my nephew opening the little, because we used to buy the eggs, that you twist and there's a prize inside. And I see him like eating these little balls out of that. And I'm going, what did you put in those? Like, what did you give them? And my sister, like I said, God bless her soul. She used to put blueberries inside the eggs. She used to put broccoli pieces inside the egg. Um, oh, it's so sad. My husband was like, "What is wrong with you? Can you give them?" She's like, "No, Juliana already spoiled. She doesn't like to eat anything. She just wants chocolate. I don't want Mattia, that's my nephew, to have the same issue." So she used to give him pieces of broccoli. My nephew loves broccoli. My nephew loves carrots, to this day. And so I think it did work in a way. I'm gonna put some of this color here in a smaller scale. This one and maybe some, I have the little band here. Okay, so I have my die cutting machine here. But it was so sad to see them and my niece to this day, she hates broccoli, she hates all that stuff. My nephew loves blueberry, loves all that stuff. So let's see. I should have done this ahead, but I didn't think about it because I didn't know where I wanted the ball. But I want it here because I have the longer strip here. So I need something that is going to balance that edge. Okay. And then enamel dots on the side. So in case I disappear, let me see the time. We're almost there. We're going to finish. Don't worry. Yeah. So up to this day. So, when my kids got older, I was like, I don't know what to get them. We used to do Easter egg hunts here at home and hide stuff. My kids, even though they were the only kid, like the only kids on my husband's side, they were never spoiled. We didn't allow them to be spoiled. I didn't allow them to be spoiled again. So when my kids were little, I used to give them underwear. We used to go to Walmart and they picked up whatever underwear they liked, whether it was my son was very into Buzz Lightyear when he was little, a Batman. So he'll pick that. I was like, sure. Cool. My daughter was into Bratz, whatever. See, I wanted to put that there. So we bought that stuff, So up to this day, I buy them underwear. So I buy them those chocolate bunny thingies. They like my daughter likes Kinder Bueno, which is hard to find, but I find it because I'm a mother. My son likes some, I don't know, this weird, it's gonna sound bad, but I'm gonna say it. He likes, the chocolate that you buy at the dollar store, that cheapy chocolate. My daughter has more refined taste when it comes to chocolate. So, and he gets underwear. So my kids already know that the weekend they're gonna get underwear from us. And my husband gives them money. My father-in-law gives them money too. So, don't think that my kids are not spoiled, that I wasn't that great of a mother. Just I'm trying to find this the way it's gonna look the best. Oh, but I forgot to cut the little center part. Yeah. Not very smart, Natalie. Not very smart. So let's just press my finger there. Just trying to make sure that I finish this. Here we go. Grandparents. Oh my God. They did give you real eggs. We never had that stuff. I tried to give my kids, my daughter hates eggs. She hates eggs with a passion. And I'm like, what happened to you? Where did I go wrong? You used to love it when you were little. My kid hates eggs. My son, it's eggs they're gonna disappear tomorrow. Again, he's a boy. Yeah. So I have when it comes to food, the kids are very diverse. My son is willing to try anything. So my daughter is like, get that thing away from my face. So, we never gave them that. But I wish I wish. I always had that idea, like, when I learned about, like, the Easter egg hunt, I was like, oh, it'd be nice to take pictures of them picking up eggs. My kids could care less about the eggs. My daughter used to make faces. My husband is like, just abandon it. Just abandon it. Like, don't get, because I get a little bit frustrated and flustered, and the Spanish in me comes out. So there's a little bit of extra yelling happening. So he's like, just abandon it. So I abandoned that because otherwise, trust me, there'd be enough therapy in the world to, like, get my kids through the trauma. So there we go. I think I want to put it, not the greatest bulk because I'm like, but I want to put it here. So you see how that balances that, kind of gives a center dot there. So Amy Moore, okay, I'm just trying to read. Okay. Sorry if I'm missing comments because I'm trying to finish this so you guys see the finished project before we go. And you guys enjoy your Easter weekend. I know if you're Orthodox, you're not going to enjoy it until maybe, is it 2 weeks from now? But I like that there. You see how, like, kind of like creates a little triangle that I'm looking for? It needs to add something else there. So we need to go into the ephemera probably. Where did I put it? Oh, yeah. This one probably a flower or something to balance that little corner. Let's see, what do we have? No, I don't get it there. Let's see. I just need something that goes in that tone. Look at the puppet stickers. Nope. Okay, we'll pass it. Okay, one flower here. Needs like a little saying or something. So I have the Spanish version here, but it says the best part. I'm gonna put it here but I think it needs to go here. Okay, because you need a little cluster there. Okay. Do we have a winner? Beverly Chester, you're a winner? Yes, there you go. And all I'm gonna add right now, guys, is enamel dots. So I'm gonna show you because I want you guys to see this finished. And they're gonna go on this side of the paper. You wanna just accent the stones there? So let's see, another little one here. On the yellow part, we're gonna stash it underneath. And on the orange here. Tone on tone, that's what you gotta think about it. Tone on tone. See, here is like this light pink that I don't have, so I'm gonna kind of cheat a bit here. Gonna put it in between. This one is still in here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with this light purple here. I must switch it after because it doesn't really count. There you go. But there's my nail. You don't want to see the crafter man. It's a massive one today. But there you go, guys. Let me put it finished. See, a little bit of watercolor. We balance with some flowers. The collection is right there. So I'm going to flip the camera to see you guys, to say goodbye. I'm 2 minutes over, but it's okay. So let me just find the button. For some reason, my computer is giving me a hard time right now. The buttons just disappear. Okay, that's better. Let's see. I almost closed the... There we go. Okay, I'm sweaty. So there you go. Love how this turned out. I'm going to take pictures and I'll post them on the group page, but I love how this turned out. Like I said, the watercolor is going to take you a little bit longer to create because you gotta let it dry properly. Mine's a little bit curled because I didn't let it dry completely, but it is what it is. So thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations, Beverly Chester. Send that Leah at email at leah@pinkfleshstudio.com. Give her a few days because she's busy. But thank you so much for being here. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy your family. If you celebrate Easter, have a blessed Easter. Have a blessed weekend. Go eat some, chocolate. Enjoy time with your families, and be the best for you this weekend. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you back in a month or so. Okay? Bye, guys.